New episode, let's do this. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is gonna be another podcast episode where we are gonna be talking about how to not care about what other people think of you. I think everyone can relate to this topic from any age range, from any gender. Everyone is struggling in terms of caring about what other people perceive them to be, or if they're doing anything, or how they look, if people are judging them. I don't want to say that it's a bad thing. Just acknowledging and knowing what people think of you can actually be a good thing. There are definitely a lot of situations where the way you portray yourself, how you look, how you speak will determine how people think of you. For example, like job interviews, obviously you're gonna want to dress up a little bit nicer, proper, and just more professional, talk in a more calm, professional manner instead of just like, you know, swearing and after like every 5 words. It's a professional environment and you're still gonna have to adapt to that certain environment. That is not what I'm talking about in this episode. Today I'm talking about when it becomes really toxic, when it's controlling our lives or controlling what we do, because that is when we're losing the integrity for ourselves. So I think it was around 6 years ago, I looked in the mirror one day and then I just couldn't recognize myself. There was one day I woke up and I was like, wait, this is not who you are, Patty. What are you doing? I felt numb. I felt as if I had no personality. Didn't laugh anymore. I didn't show my weird, funny side. I didn't make jokes. I was just a very serious person because I didn't want to show any side that was who I was to anyone else, because I was like, no, they're gonna judge me. I was wearing clothes that I didn't want to wear, but everyone else around me was wearing, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy it and I just want to fit in. And then when I was wearing the clothes, I always felt insecure, or I felt uncomfortable in those clothes. And then I realized it's because it's not me. What you wear represents you and your personality in a way. That's kind of like self-expression. I felt that the clothes that I was wearing was basically a complete opposite of me. I would never wear that if I could choose. I mean, obviously I had free will at the time, but I felt as if I didn't, and I would just wear everything that everyone else wanted to wear. I just couldn't be myself, and it just made me surrender and succumb to that social expectation that everyone else wanted me to be or say or do or look like. And it was so hard. It was so hard. And then I kind of just not cared about what was on the inside of me and my value. Who is this girl that I'm looking at? It reminds me of the song Reflection by Mulan. When I looked at my reflection, I was like, who is that girl I see staring straight back at me? I'm starting to feel more like myself for the past like few months. I'm like kind of done with living my life through other people, but obviously I had to go through that to make a change and to become more self-aware. You know the trend going around on TikTok that's like, Pop, you lost your spark? I lost my spark, I think, for so many years, and I think I'm starting to just finally get it back end of this year. I felt like I was becoming my old self, like the old Patty, around end of summer. That was when I just kind of said fuck it, and I was like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna show my personality more. I am actually someone that I would say I'm someone that's quite outgoing, and just I have a lot of energy all the time, especially if I'm close to someone. I will say whatever's on my mind. Like, I'm usually like that. But then with the accumulations of a lot of negative experiences and a lot of negative judgments from other people around me, it just kind of made me want to diminish who I was, because I was just scared of being judged. You know, the feeling of being judged is not a nice feeling. You feel as if you have no value, or you feel as if the things that you want to say or the things you want to do and how you look like is not enough. Feeling not enough is actually such a shit feeling to feel, and I don't want anyone to feel like that. I think we've all gone through it in some parts of our lives, one way or another, where we don't feel good enough. I just want to say I'm sorry, and I don't want you guys to feel like that ever. As humans, we are all social beings. It was actually a survival mechanism for us to be liked and for us to align in a social order, because that was how you survived. You know, when we were like back hunting and everything, there were certain groups, and if you were alone, you had a higher chance of dying. So being liked was basically associated with survival. So it is biologically wired within us to want to be liked by other people. Of course, being liked is also linked with building strong, healthy relationships with people around you, but I feel like it's about the kind of relationships and who you're having the relationships with. Instead of changing yourself to be liked, it should be the other way around, where you're being yourself and you're picking and choosing who can be in your life. If you're just like everyone else, and then obviously there's going to be more people that like you because you're acting in a way that's more socially acceptable, or you're changing yourself because you think that that's how other people are going to like you. To be honest, I think you're just going to become boring. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I'm just saying that if we don't have anything special about us or anything that makes us unique, and we're just basically the same people, it's gonna be boring, and then you're just gonna meet someone and just be like, okay, they're boring. Don't you think that the people that are just most gravitating in a social scene is just people that have so much personality, the life of the party, people that are just unique, have like different interests, and own it? When they're confident about who they are, it just makes them so much more attractive or so much more approachable, because you're like, I want to get to know that person and see what they're about, and I want to learn about their interests as well. From caring what other people think, you're basically seeking validation from what you already perceived yourself to be, or disagree. For example, if you think that you're smart, and then you're gonna go around and you're gonna try to like please people and kind of just show people that you are smart, and then you gain that validation, people's gonna say, oh, you are so smart. It makes you feel good, yes, but it's not your voice that's saying you're smart, it's other people's voices, and then over time you're gonna want that even more and more. Have you guys ever been with like your friends where they're always like, oh my god, I'm like this, or they just point out certain parts about themselves that you didn't see before they pointed it out, and then you're just like, wait, I didn't even notice that. And then the more they point it out, the more you notice it, and you're like, oh, okay, you're telling me this, so now I'm focusing on it. Whereas if you didn't tell me in the first place, then I don't see that. I think we're all looking at ourselves with like a microscopic lens, where we're just pinpointing every single bad detail about us. It can be personality, it can be looks, and then when we point that out to other people, they're gonna see that. Whereas before, people actually just see you as a whole. They don't see you as like little aspects of yourself that you're analyzing every day. Everyone just sees you as just one person, who you are personality wise, and looks sometimes, if they're, you know, they only care about that. It's just a person. They're just looking and talking to a person with ideas and opinions and experiences. So when I was trying to seek a lot of approval, I was actually guilty of this as well. I used to say to my best friend all the time, oh my god, I'm so fat. She would say I'm not fat. It'll make me feel a little bit better, and then I still think I'm fat. I'm still like, okay, I still think I'm fat. Like, you told me, I'm like, thank you. But it's just like we gain this approval, but then we're not trying to change how we perceive ourselves. We're trying to change how other perceives us. And it's like, it's kind of tiring. So I actually talked about this in my last episode, but when we're in social situations, we put on this mask for other people, and that's called our persona. The more we try to fake or try to change our persona that's further away from our true selves, that can actually lead to resentment to the people around you or yourself. And there's actually another part of the persona, which is the shadow self. And the shadow self is who you are when you're alone and there's no one around you. And that shadow self can actually become more aggressive towards either you or other people. And mostly it's going to be towards you, because you're going to resent yourself and say, why didn't you say this in public? Why didn't you do this? Like, you didn't want to do that. Why did you do that? And then that's actually going to lead to more negative self-talk, negative self-perceptions, and also just partaking in self-sabotaging behavior. I actually experienced this firsthand, where when I wasn't myself, or whenever I felt as if I couldn't be myself, I wanted to say something but I was scared to say it, I would come home. I would always call myself weak before, because I also had people-pleasing tendencies, which is kind of correlated to caring what other people think, because you're just doing everything for other people and you're disregarding yourself in the process. It's so tiring. So there's this quote by Marcus Aurelius. He was a Roman philosopher, and he said, we all love ourselves more than other people, but we care more about their opinions than our own. When I read that, I was like, wait, this is so true, and it's so funny because it's so contradicting. Everyone is selfish. At the end of the day, we are all trying to survive, and we're doing things because we think that that's gonna make us survive. Like, we're just doing everything for our own self-interest. I think we all do love ourselves more than other people, but then we care more about what other people think of us than how we think of ourselves. I think it all just comes down to self-perception and self-value in the end of the day, like how self-image, basically how you perceive yourself. If you have a strong positive perception of yourself, you are more likely to stand by who you are, because you're like, wait, I know my value, and if people don't see that, then you can cut them off so easily. Whereas I think if it's people that are more insecure, or people that just are more negative about themselves, they're gonna want that validation from people more because they don't get it from themselves enough. I think the first step is definitely try to show our personalities more. And with that being said, you can actually care about what other people think of you, but you gotta choose who you want that validation from. Like, start being very picky with your friends or anyone or that's gonna come into your life or is in your life. Just start being picky. Definitely choose who you want validation from the people around you. Don't try to gain validation from everyone. You can pick and choose, like the people that you trust and the people that you value their opinion. It's actually going to make that relationship stronger as well, because it just shows that you trust them. When you ask for their opinion, when they ask you for your opinion, you feel as if you're trusted. You feel as if you could help them. Make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people that have your best interest at heart. So they're always going to tell you the truth no matter what. Guys, just remember that you're not that special. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean as if no one actually really cares about you at the end of the day. Everyone is so selfish. They're thinking about themselves. They're thinking about what they're gonna do. Like, right now, all I'm thinking is, I'm filming this podcast. What do I need to say? And also, what am I gonna have for dinner? Like, that's it. I seriously have no time to think about other people. And finding your purpose or finding things that you love to do in life is actually gonna make you forget. Like, shift your focus. Don't care about what other people are thinking, because when you have time on your hands, that is actually when it's detrimental to you, because you're gonna have that time where you're sitting down and just gonna say all those negative things about yourself, and you're just gonna scan who you are and just be like, oh, like what if they're thinking this about me, what if they're like, if anyone that's actually truly busy they basically have no time to think about other people. They're thinking about themselves and what they want to do. Shift your focus, and you're gonna find that at the end of the day, if you're truly focusing on you, you're not gonna care about other people. So my last 2 tips, which I say in every episode, because I just really do advocate for it and I really do stand by this, and it's to be kind to yourself and also to get to know yourself every day, a little bit better every day. I actually wrote down in my journal like 2 days ago, trying to find the value in yourself, and I just wrote, who is Patty? I wrote down all my attributes, my negative and positives, what I want to work on, what I love to do, what I love eating, just everything about me that I can figure out. At first, I didn't know what to write. I was like, wait, this is so hard to write about myself. But then the more I actually thought about it, I'm like, wait, this is me. Like, and I looked at the page when I was done. I was like, this is me. This is Patty. And I'm so happy. This is everything that makes me who I am. And I'm gonna keep on building that list, or that, it's a mind map, it's really cute. But I'm gonna build on that mind map. I'm gonna make it so big. I'm gonna try to add it as much as I can whenever I learn something new, and it's just gonna be a fun game. What can I find more about myself? And yeah, just being kind in terms of self-talk. If you say anything negative, you're actually gonna believe that. If you say that you're like dumb, you're gonna be dumb, because you believe that, and then you're just gonna act like you're dumb because you're like, oh wait, I'm dumb, I can't do this. Like, never let anything negative come out of your mouth that's about you, especially to other people. If you say anything negative about yourself to other people, that's very dangerous. Please don't do that. It's either they're gonna change their perception about you and respect you less, or it's actually gonna be more detrimental to you because you're just reinforcing it, and then you're just gonna like keep on acting in a certain way from your beliefs. So don't do that. Don't say anything negative out loud. I know like all of these things that I've been saying is very easy to say than to actually do or to believe in, but it's just about the baby steps. There was actually a time that if I told myself now I'm not weak anymore, then I wouldn't believe you. I used to believe that I was so weak that I couldn't stand up for myself. For like, I don't know how many years I've been hiding myself. I've been trying to, I think I just lost my personality, and I'm still trying to find that personality back. I'm trying to get that personality back like 100%. There are days where I just feel as if I do still like the old Patty is still back. However, I'm getting so much better, and that's all it is, just journey. It's the journey. Do you know those interviews where they ask like elder people what do they regret in life, and most of them or a lot of them say not doing the things I wanted to do because I was scared of what other people thought, or not living my life for me. And I don't want to be one of those people. I'm sorry, like I just don't. I'm done living my life for other people. I don't want to be 70 years old, 60 years old, and I'm just regretting my life. I'd rather ask for forgiveness than for permission. Guys, this has been a therapy session for me. I let out so much in terms of everything I wanted to say to myself. I said it out loud, and I think it just made me process it so much more. This is one of the reasons why I love just talking in a podcast form, because it's like therapy for me. And whenever I'm saying it to you guys, because I want to help you guys at the end of the day, I want to help people, and just me saying it, if it can help either just one person, I'll be so happy. I think I'm helping myself, so it's my one person, so I'm good. So that is gonna be the episode. I just want to reinforce one more thing, which is be kind to yourself and get to know yourself every day. It's gonna help, trust me. I'm gonna go have dinner, and I'm gonna sleep, but I love you guys. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It'll mean the world to me. And if you see that your subscribe button is red, you should click on it. It'll turn gray. It's like magic. I'll see you guys. Bye.